And don't make the mistake that most of your mothers and fathers made. Um, when I wake up in the morning, my prayers, and I thank God I woke up, the Ku Klux Klan woke up this morning. The drug pushers woke up this morning. I thank God that I made another 24 hours in the most vicious, nasty, hateful, insane nation that's ever existed with my wits, without hating, without being bitter, without being mean. And I thank God that I survived 24 hours in that type of atmosphere with the with the with the type of amusement and friendliness. And so I would say to young folks, um, don't be in a state of denial of the racism and sexism, but don't let that block you. Don't teach your children that you have to be twice as good as a white. That's an awful thing to teach a child.
Mm-hmm.
That's like saying
I
because you're
agree.
black, white America has a right to change your dollar for 94 cents. But we used to get 50 cents, and before that, we used to get nothing. Young folks have to say, we don't want more change for a dollar. Excuse me, we want a full dollar's change for a dollar, or this cash register will never ring again.
Yes.
I would also like for young blacks to understand that about 83% of all employment happen with small businesses. And excuse me, if you don't have a small business, then you have nobody to work for you. And I would say to young blacks, get into entrepreneurship. We will never catch up with white America till we get into business because there's a thing called tax write-offs. And if you have a job and come together, 10 of you, and open up a corporation and have somebody run it, you hiring somebody to run it, but you have tax write-offs. 98% of people that fly first class on airplanes would not be there if that wasn't a write-off. And yet, on that first class, they gave away last year $800 million, almost $1 billion of free whiskey. But if a welfare mother asked for some apple juice for the baby,
Mm-hmm.
she's laughed at.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would say entrepreneurship, and then understand that we will never survive as a group until we get into communities and not neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
A community is I control the police, the banks, the schools, the firefighters, and I control the flow of the money. And I have no problem when I go in a Jewish neighborhood and the shop owners are Jewish, and I go into an Italian neighborhood and shop owners are Italian. I have a problem when I come in a black neighborhood and the shop owners is not me. Uh, a Korean has a right to come in and buy my shop for $30 million more than it's worth. That's good business. But if we decide that we're not going to do business with that boy, then he'll have to sell it back, or she'll sell it back to a black person for $1 million. And then the
Yes.
money circulates and circulates, and that's how you change. We've been so busy dealing with the hurt and the pain and the misery and glamorizing a hand few that have made it, that we have never really looked at, like they say, your role model. If you haven't got a role model in your house, you should fall on your knees and pray to
Yes.
God because something is wrong.
Yes.
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast on the forecast. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. The link is only for Cassidra, for Rum in the Bush. I'm gonna put the link in there for her. What's going on, Oni? Shouts out to Oni in the building. What's going on, Raw? Shouts out to Raw in the building. I appreciate y'all coming through. Now yeah, me and so I've been talking to Cassidra, and I think that she has a lot of good business ideas, and she does a lot of things business wise. You know, and I think that once a week or like however many times we should come on here and discuss it. So hopefully now me and Cassidra will be able to come on here, weekly just to talk about business. It's more so for the young people, for like education and motivation, to get more young people into different businesses, different fields and stuff like that. So I think it's definitely a good thing. How you doing, Cassidra?
I am good. Thank you for inviting me. And this is going to be an amazing topic because it's time for our babies to know how to do entrepreneurship.
Yeah, and like I always say, y'all support Rome in the Bush because she's doing big things and she's showing me a lot. Anytime I got any questions, she gives me the answer, and I'm like, I think that Cassidra has a lot of information that like people should know, or go look into it for yourself and see how you could do it for yourself. Because one thing about it is nobody's going to do it but us. You know what I'm saying? Because we are all we got. Um, so Cassidra, before I show it, I want to show the video. Before we talk about it, I want to show the two things that you sent me. Those two businesses real quick, and we're gonna show them at the end too. And then if you want, we'll put the link in for anybody else to come on if they got questions or something. If you want to. Um, Yeah, this is the one you sent me. Uh,
Smoothie Queen.
Smoothie Queen. Yeah. Let me play the video.
Got the Smoothie Queen here. How are you guys? Yes. Okay. So I'm a mobile business. So I gave him the card. Yeah, I gave him the card. So I have a card. No, not right now. I'm shopping with my baby. She wanted to come to the mall with her friend. Hey y'all. So you got the Smoothie Queen here. I wanted to come live to shout out one of the businesses in Fayetteville. They are located in the Cross Creek Mall, and they're called Popcorn Pleasers. So it's a new popcorn shop in Cross Creek Mall next to the Lens Crafters. Let me show y'all where I'm at. The Lens Crafters is right here. They're right across. And right now I'm speaking with my new friend Troy, right? I like to say this. She's the smoothie queen. Yes. I'm the popcorn king. Okay. Yeah, he making me a Chicago mix, y'all. And the key word uh-huh. Yes, definitely, definitely, definitely. Yes. Heavy rotation. Let's go. Let's go. I'm all about supporting businesses because at the end of the day, this is what we need. Y'all, he out here doing this thing at Fayetteville and Cross Creek Mall. It's called Popcorn Pleasers, black owned business, which is
All right, so yeah, that's good. That's close to you, Cassidra.
Yeah, it's maybe about an hour and a half, and I found her because I love smoothies. But that popcorn is amazing too. Amazing.
Yeah,
And I'm glad she did that. She we're all for black owned businesses.
yeah.
We had a black woman also. She's a photographer in Fayetteville also. So she does amazing. She did some Christmas pictures for us, right? And
Mm.
she was amazing. She did an amazing job. I try to shop and I try to support as many black owned businesses as possible. And this is what we have to do. We have to change our mindset. If it's not black, and somebody else tell me, for instance, I was looking for a black company or an accountant, right? And I actually found a black guy. Everybody was saying, "Oh, I know this." Everybody that was giving me, my first question is, "Are they black?" And if they say no, I don't deal with them. I'm not giving my money to a Chinese. I'm not giving my money to anybody that don't look like me. Period.
Yeah, facts. Um, and yeah, so is this Smoothie Queen? She has her own black business.
She has her own. She's does smoothies, and they're amazing. They're amazing. I couldn't find the one because sometimes she shows the one where she's making the smoothies, but I just, this was super quick. So I just got this one and I
Right.
liked it because she was advertising somebody else's business also.
Yeah. That's so you got the the popcorn pleasers and the smoothie queen.
And the smoothie queen.
Yeah. And then you was like your homegirl got
Now, this is my girlfriend, Michelle. She has her own Black-owned recruiting service, you guys, called Direct. Oh my goodness, I got to get the name of it. I don't want to.
direct recruit agency.
There, yes, that's her. Yes, she just opened, and she has cyber security positions, nursing positions, and I think those are the main two. But she's just like I said, she's just starting, so she's got some positions. So if you guys need some help, go look her up. That's
Yeah.
her, Black owned, Black owned.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
That's good.
yes. So she's out hiring folk. So if you need a job,
Hmm.
cybersecurity is where it's at.
Yeah.
Cybersecurity. If you guys are looking to get into something that's growing like wildfire, cybersecurity, because we having these electronic cars, right? These battery cars and electronic cars won't be no more gas cards. Let Biden tell it. So who's going to fix those cars?
Yeah.
So yeah,
And this is her information.
that's her information.
So
Yep.
I guess her number is 678-653-4681 and info@directrecruitingagency.net. And this is our website, directrecruitagency.net. So yeah, man, I just wanted to show those, and we gonna show them again when we done. But so yeah, consider like first of all, like how did you even like get into like the whole business lane in the first place, or entrepreneurship?
You know what, forecast? It's been in my family. Every family has a spirit as far as entrepreneurship. And that was my family. I had an uncle who had a grocery store when we were small. So, and I would work in his grocery store. And then my mom had an ice cream shop. Plus, she had an apartment building. So we've always kind of ran our own stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I guess the spirit has always been there. And maybe about 2 or 3 years ago, I was just starting out, not understanding what I wanted to do. So I got it was a clothing, and I dealt with baby clothing. But for me, if I had that one right there, just didn't take off the way I wanted it to. And I think if I had just stuck with it, I think it would have, because I still have people now asking me about it. And I'm like, oh my God. But it's always been in the family. And I believe in family members understanding what the gift is and walking in that purpose. And I think that's how you find your millions, because there is in the words, it said your gift will make room for you. And I do believe that. Just like the smoothie queen and I are really close, right? Her and I talk all the time. And I remember she was trying to decide what it was she wanted, what kind of business. And I said, well, just get quiet, and something that you love to do it. And she called me back and said, "Oh my God, I got it!" And I mean, it's just, I'm looking at it and I'm just looking at it grow. It's just like amazing. But this is how I believe that's your gifts are always in you. They're already there. You just have to walk it out. And what your gift is, something that you love to do. And I remember one time when I was younger, I used to do my own hair. So I got into the hair, but I got into doing hair and I loved it. You know what I'm saying? So and you have more than one gift in you. So you have to really get quiet. And a gift is something that you could do all day, every day for free and not even charge anybody for doing it. And that's what a gift is. And a lot of people don't understand it. They say, "Oh, I don't want to do my gift. I want to do it just for fun." But if you get into your gift, you'll do it for free, you'll do it for fun, and you'll enjoy going to work every day because you're doing your gift. But some people think that they'll get burned out just doing their gifts. And no, you don't get burned out doing what you love to do. You like writing books. How can you get burned out writing books if that's what your gift, if that's what you were born to do? And that's what we're not doing. We're not understanding our children's gifts, and that's parenting on purpose. We have to get to the place where we are learning our children, watching our children, and walking and helping them to understand even stuff that they may not be, they may not like understand. But if you see it, for instance, my baby can sing, but she was afraid to sing. You know what I'm saying? So I began to pull her into that. Hey, sing me a song. So you kind of have to introduce them to their gifts sometimes. You see the gift because you're their parent. I respond.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And the thing is with this, right? Because I guess we can go through all kinds of stuff as we like go along and stuff. But because I think that it's important to start at the beginning, and especially when you have children that's young enough to learn when they're really really young.
Mhm.
And so like one of the things you talked about was like parenting on purpose, right?
Mhm.
So like for you, like, or like to you, how would you like suggest, like somebody who's a parent, like how do you help your children like find their gifts, or like kind of lead them in the right direction, and kind of do that, hone their abilities, kind of like.
Well, for as far as me, I would just sit down and I watch my kids. I would sit down on the floor with them sometime, and I just we would have they had dolls, and I would sit there with them sometime and combing their dolls' hair, and we just talked. What do you like to do? Where do where do you want to go? And what do you want to be when you get grown? And what's your I just begin to talk, and a lot of times you just watching them and something. For instance, my granddaughter, she loves beauty, anything. She's a diva. She's just like her mother. And she is 15. And I tell you, she's been, let her braid my hair. She loves braiding, right? But I told you how we used to, I used to do hair, right? And I would take her to the nursing home and we would just work in the nursing home and she would polish the fingernails and, and stuff. And she loved it. I mean, every time I would go, I take her with me. So she loved it. And I'm telling you, I bought her a mannequin home and I would sit that mannequin in front of her and she started braiding hair and just the regular braids. She started doing that like at 6 or 7, right? And I was like, how in the world do you know how to do that? And she was braiding good, right? So then I would show her, okay, well, let me see if you know how to cornrow. So I would take the mannequin and I would, part the little side and she'd be on the other side and I would be braiding it like cornrolling it. And 2 tries, she got it. And that's her gift. That is her gift. What child do you know can braid hair at 6, 7, and 8? She was braiding hair. And then I started letting her practice on me doing like box braids, right? And she started doing the box braids. Then we started adding weave to it. So this was her gift. She loves doing manicures, pedicures, and dealing with makeup now. So she told me she wants her a beauty shop. She loves beauty. I always knew that she was going to want to do the beauty. So we put her in a class at the beauty, at one of the beauty schools. They allowed her to go and kind of tag along, just watching. And then one summer we put her in a summer camp, and they did hair at the summer camp, right, at a beauty shop, a beauty store, beauty shop, I should say. And she was doing the hair. She went for 2 weeks, right, and they learned everything in those 2 weeks, and she loved it. So we already know automatically this is what she wants to do. So we're already setting aside funds to get her own shop, and she's gonna have at least 10 chairs. And then I told her, I said, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna rent those chairs. So not only am I putting her in her gift, I'm also allowing her to run her own shop. And I said, and you don't have to just do one; you can do several. So I'm just introducing her to it, and then we put her with people that's doing nails. Got a whole video with her doing nails. She went to how those events come up, and we paid money for her to do an event, and she was doing kids' nails. And some adults would sit down there and let her do the little manicures. So she loved it. So that's how you introduce. You find out which, and some children like to bake. Okay. I have a granddaughter, my husband's daughter, his daughter, which is my granddaughter. She loves to bake. So, okay. I asked her, what do you want to do? But that's not that's more not my child, but, I still have a say. So I've been asking her, what do you like to do? She loves to bake. Okay, what do you like to bake? Bake me something. So baking cookies or baking cake, and she loves to bake. Not more or less cooking food. She likes the sweet part of it. I said, okay, why not get your own bakery? I believe in entrepreneurship. I believe in pulling out our babies' gifts that keeps them busy, that keeps them happy, and that keeps them just loving what they do. They're loving to do it. And then what we did with my granddaughter, we made her cards up and we started allowing her to do her friend's hair. They come to the house. Of course, she don't go there. They come to the house, and she's got a little space, and she does their little braids. Charge maybe about $40, $50. She doesn't charge a whole lot, but this is just introducing her to her gifts. Then she'll go to like parties. She'll do everybody's nails there. It's her party, but she's doing everybody's nails. But that's what she does. She does parties. So we're walking her in her gift. But it took us just sitting back, recognizing, and and she was just, playing with the little doll's hair. We didn't know she could braid all the time. Suddenly she came there, look, grandma, okay, wow, wow. But she was doing it so young, we began to see her gifts when she was small, like 6 and 7. We begin to see her gifts. I'll rest my mic.
Yeah, and that's interesting. And when you think about it, right? Because when you go, because we know about, not to talk about other communities or nothing like that or other groups, but you go to the Chinese place and you see the little kids in there
Yes,
running around the business. They getting a feel for the business.
exactly,
Mhm.
exactly. They are
Yeah,
showing their kids, and they're running the register at what, 6, 7.
yeah, they be looking like they 5 years old behind the register.
Yes, okay. And I'm like, wow. But they're training their children for success. We should see more of that. I've gone to Mexico and we see the vendors out there, and they have their kids out there selling little bracelets and, if pop, whatever. They're out there selling that. They have some kind of little chips that they make. They make them from scratch and have a little different stuff. You see the kids out there selling that. That's all you see in Mexico. Everybody has their own business, street vendor. Everybody has a tent. Everybody has their little businesses, and they're supporting one another. You don't see Chinese people in Mexico because they're not going to support them. No Chinese businesses that I see in Mexico when I went, not one. And I said, wow. And they're not, because they're not going to support them. They're not like us. We support everybody. I went to Charlotte the other day, right? And they had a black, and I was looking for a black owned, soul food, right? So I didn't really know Charlotte. And I said, oh, let me look on the internet. And I said, oh my God, here's a black owned. And I would not thinking it wasn't black owned. Walked up in there, and it was Puerto Rican people. I said, what do y'all know about cooking black? I asked the girl. I said, and you got black people sitting in there, and I asked everybody in there, I said, how's the food right there? And they, oh my God, it's good, it's good. I'm looking, I asked the lady, I said, what do you know about cooking greens? What do you know about cooking yams? What do you know about cooking black folk food? She said, we eat just about what y'all eat. And I said, but you don't season it the same way. I know they don't, right? So of course I had to get a plate. I just wanted to try it because I had went in there and wanted to try it. I got that plate. I had to throw it away. It was horrible. And I looked at all them black folks. I said, y'all need to be shaming yourself. You are promoting this right here. And every last one of them could have went back there and made their own plates. One could have did the greens. One could have did the mac and cheese. And the mac and cheese tastes like it was boxed. I swear. I'm like, what are we paying for here? I was so disappointed. I'm looking at these black folk who said it was good, right? So I'm thinking, okay, I couldn't even eat it. I couldn't even eat it.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing, because like that's why I stopped using them websites that be like black owned, because it's not really black owned. They
No,
be
it's
taking
not.
you everywhere.
No, it's not. I even went to the Chinese shop because they
Mm-hmm.
said, you say black owned. They got the Chinese shop in the black owned area. I go there and I said, I walked in there, and the first thing I seen was a Chinese person. And I looked away. I said, this is not black owned. I said, why y'all in the black owned column? Because it was black owned, and it advertised being black owned. They're not black owned. I said, y'all trying to perpetrate. I walked out of there. I told you I don't spend my money with anybody but black. I have a black guy around my house that is a black. He has a black his wife does hair in the back, but he's got a black beauty supply place, right? That's why I buy myself. I don't go. I'm not going up the light. You have a Chinese man, and I see so many black people passing his shop to go to the Chinese shop, and it's sad because that's disgusting. You won't even support your own. That's pathetic. I think that's disgusting and mental illness at its finest. When you have at the corner a black man selling his beauty supply places, stuff at his beauty supply, but you going down there to the Chinese shop. That's a disgrace. They're traitors. You are traitors.
Yeah, and and the thing is, right, because even like you were saying, because with that culture stuff, that's why it's like, the first one I wanted to be like parenting on purpose, like we were saying, because even when you think about it, like what now that we have in this conversation, which is like you is needed, you know what I'm saying, you don't see as much, you know um people into that kind of thing. Maybe because we don't want to be self-sufficient or something. But I honestly think that that's a part of like environment, and like it becomes a part of, not, it's not an excuse, because that's because becomes part of what you do. But then when you're surrounded by business, or you see your parents doing business, it puts you in that environment, that mindset, you know. And that's why it's important to, like, you know, be parenting on purpose and give
Mhm.
the correct information. And only says the Chinese portraying black owned as well. Yeah, if you look on these websites, that if you look up black owned businesses, more
Mhm.
times than not, they're not going to be black.
Oh
Like,
no.
if you
There's
go in
not a
there, it's
lot
going
of
to be.
black-owned businesses out here,
Mm-mm.
but I look for them. You know, I needed, have let me secret out, huh? The property that I do have in Myrtle Beach, right? I was looking for to change the locks, so I had to find me a black-owned. I needed a locksmith. So I was calling around, calling around. I got the Chinese, and one Chinese said, "Oh, we gonna do it." The price he gave me was outrageous. Oh no, thank you. And plus, they weren't black, so I wasn't interested. So of course, I got this black-owned company, which was amazing because I'm looking for people where I can form groups. Where I can say, "Hey, go to so and so apartment and fix this for me." That's what I'm looking for, a team. And I told him what I was trying to do. And of course, I got me a black locksmith, and I got a black accountant. I got a black housekeeper, that's going to come in here. It's going to clean the place for me. Everybody, because the one guy, the locksmith was telling me, and I told him I was looking for a housekeeper, somebody to come in every 2 weeks. And he goes, "Oh, I know this Chinese lady." No, he said he knew a lady, and she does really good work. And the first question, I asked, "Is she black?" He goes, "No." I said, "I'm not interested. I don't deal with anybody. I don't spend my money with anybody that's not black, period." And he was like, "Wow, it was like a shock to him." And I said, "This is what's wrong with black people. We were advertised for somebody else, but not for black owned. No, I'm not going to advertise. I'm not going to give her my money because they don't give their money to us. They don't support anything that black people have ever. Do you ever see a Chinese person working for a black person cleaning, doing anything but cleaning our toes? I don't even go to them to clean my feet because I don't like the way they do pedicures, right? But my thing is, we will support somebody else and then we'll tell other people about their business, but you won't tell them about your sister's business that's black up the street. That's sad. That's
Yeah,
actually pathetic.
yeah, and that's the truth. You know, we will promote other people because, like, yo, I know in Richmond they got a lot of it's more so restaurants that's like black owned, so you could get like food and stuff like that. There's
Hmm.
certain things that you can get that's black owned, but yeah, you do have to make effort, and then you show and promote the things that you see out there, because there are people out here that's trying to do something and make a difference and stuff like that. So
Hmm. Because I get my
so
nails and stuff done, and I'll ask my daughter, I say, "Hey, do you know somebody black that I can use?" Because I even got her. I said, "We don't, even with my kids, I tell them, I said, we don't support, anybody that's not black. I've been, trying to raise them like that, for a while since I've been like this. I try to change the mindset, because when they were babies, we didn't understand that. It was hard to find anybody black on. Even now with nails, manicures and pedicures. I went to this one black owned shop, right? And I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna just say this: if you are black and you have a business, please be respectful. This is your business. You don't know who's walking in that door. I walked in the door, but I was wanting to like advertise Ram in the Bush, right? And I wanted to see if I can actually bring one of my young ladies there so that she can kind of work under her. Because with hair, you can have somebody working under you. As long as you're there and you have a license, that person can work under you, right? And she can learn the same thing. And it'll just take her a little longer to get her license, but she's learning, right? Hands on. And I was trying to get her to see if she, if she would be interested in doing that. That woman attitude was so bad. I walked out. I said, I refused to take one of my babies and help, and put her under her. I would not do it because her attitude was bad. And she don't even know how she could have been blessed by helping one of our babies out. And that baby would have possibly been there to help her out because now she got a sign up looking for help. Nobody wants to work with you. I wouldn't dare put some. She could have had help. She could have trained this young lady up and she wouldn't have been struggling now, but her attitude was bad. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just nice for us as Black people. Let's watch our attitudes. Let's not be so. This is your blessing. This is your business. And Black folk ain't gonna give you but one chance, but they'll give white folk 10 chances. You know what I'm saying? And for me, even with that, even if I had to say something, how was she gonna treat the young lady when I'm not there? You understand what I'm saying? Because I saw her when she didn't even expect me to be asking her to allow her to work with my business, work with the foundation. But she did, but I didn't want her to do that after I saw how nasty she was, with me. Just she didn't know me, and I was just coming to her to speak about ramming the bush for her attitude was terrible. And I just didn't even really go into details because I was like, I just didn't like the attitude part of it. So I'm just saying, Black folks, please, let's just be mindful, and this is your business. This is something you're supposed to be loving. And if you're not having fun doing it, if you're not loving it, don't do it. That's not your gift. Because we see people working all the time in something, even if there is their own business and they're mean and nasty, then that's not your gift. Do something else. Find out what your gift is and walk in it. And your gift, like I said, is something you do every day. If you write, you might write in your journal, write a book. If you do poems, write you a poem book. That's your gift. Let your gifts make room for you. Let your gift make money for you. That's your millions right there.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna have that'll have to be like 1 week where we talk about good Black businesses and like the bad Black businesses and things like that too, because that's a whole topic right there.
Yeah.
And then because it get complicated too because I understand why prices is high sometimes, but like
But I've seen some prices forecast. Come on.
yeah,
I've seen it to where you have doubled. And I'm gonna tell you, I have a girlfriend and she does a lot of my advertising. She, when I wrote my book, she edited it. Like she did Ram in the Bush website. She did Simply Complete, my other business website for me. And I remember when, the first website she did for me was reasonable. So when she got a few more customers, I went back to her because I always use her, right? And she goes, Cassie, I'm gonna charge you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh no. I said, I'm not paying that. And she thought, well, okay, okay. I walked away because I want you to be reasonable. I'm not asking for you to cheat yourself. I'm not asking for you but treat me like, because I'm coming back. You understand what I'm saying? You don't have to get the millions in one customer. You don't have to make all the money in one customer. Just know that I'm gonna be fair because I've checked around and I know the general price of it, but she was too high. And I was like, I can't do it. I can do it. I can't do it for that. And then I walked away and she called me back maybe a couple hours, maybe 3 or 4 hours and said, hey, what can you do? And I still didn't go super low. I said, it might have been maybe $30 less or $40. It wasn't the fact that she was just really super high. And I told her, I said, you can't charge, and I know she's just getting started, to where she's really getting out there. I said, but just be mindful because we have the money, but Black folk ain't going, they're not going to let you cheat them. They're not going to pay $350 for an outfit. And that's what she was charging on one of her websites. I said, I love it, but I'm not going to spend that. That's crazy. You see what I'm saying? So we have to be mindful. Keep it low. You don't have to hurt yourself. But if you 3 times the amount, come on, you guys. Come on. Let's not do that. Let's not rip your own brothers and sisters. You can charge somebody else that price. But when I come to you, I'm coming to you all the time. I'm not looking for you to hurt yourself, but I am looking because I'm coming back. So I'm trying to establish that relationship. And I also send people to her. So why would you break the bank here when I'm sending you clients also? So let's just be mindful and let's be reasonable. That's all I'm saying. Reasonable.
right. Yeah, I agree with that. And so all right, so on the first one, right? Because I want to ask you a couple of things. This is like the last I was wondering, right? Like, say, like with a young person getting into their first business and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I want to know like some of the things that you would tell them to look out for. Like, I know it depends on what business it is, but like, how much you think they should have saved, or like, emergency, or if you could, but like, just some of the things about, having your own business that you should probably look out for?
Well, just a lot of times, just depending on the business. For instance, if you want a property, let's go to that one. Okay. Just think about if you're going to rent it, make sure that you have like 2 or 3 times the rent, just having money laid up because in case it doesn't rent the first month, make sure that you'll be able to cover it. Remember, if you're doing an apartment or you're doing a condo for Airbnb, make sure that you have enough to furnish it. Okay. You have to pay the rent on it. You might be in a new own business, you may have to pay month's rent, month security. Okay. You might have to furnish it. And if you're doing a 2 or 3 bedroom, it's going to be, if it's a 3 bedroom, I would save, it's going to take at least $5,000 to $6,000 to furnish a 3 bedroom. Okay. If you want to, so you might have to have between $9,000 $10,000, and I know that's for people you know that can save up some money. Now, if you want to start with maybe a storefront, I remember way back I did like I was selling baby clothing, right, and I was trying to get my daughter to take it over. I didn't really want it. I was trying to do it for her, right? That wasn't her gift. That's not what she wanted. So of course I didn't want to do it. And that was the one that I closed. But I paid $50 for the at the time Spotify was doing it, and I paid $50 for the website, and I paid like a total of $50 if I'm not mistaken, because I paid $29.99. They had a special, and it was buy get 1 month free, right? So the first month was free, and I paid $29.99 for the second month. And then I wanted to buy a domain. A domain was probably like I think I paid $6 or $7 for the year. Wasn't that much back then? It's probably 10 right now. And I bought a domain for the name because you have to do the name. And that's all. I drop shipped. I didn't own any product. I got with a website that I could drop ship. So I created the website and I had Spotify to help me. I mean, for $29.99, they literally, I would call them and I would be, can you help me? And I would get these youngsters that was so glad to help because I didn't know what I was doing. So they would be putting it together and showing me what they was doing, and they would show me how they did it. And I would also once I learned how to do it, then I would go and put it together. But you just have to get people that you have favor with. If this is something you want to do, you just have to be nice and you get people to help you to do anything. But I think my first business forecast, I spent probably $50 for. $50. I didn't have any of the merchandise. I had partnered with another storefront, and I would get their product, right. And if somebody wanted to buy from me, they would buy it from me. I would get the money, I would purchase it from them, and they would drop ship it and send it to them. That was the easiest business ever. I mean, I had baby clothes for, and I didn't, and make sure you don't give them too many choices, because when you have too many choices, people just don't know what to pick. But I'm telling you, and I had a lot of, but I've learned doing those different businesses. I've learned that, especially with, and I think that was called Nubian, but it cost me literally $50 to get it off the ground from start to finish, $50. So I'm just saying, it's not hard at all. You just decide if you want to do shoes, you can do shoes. I had one guy that I worked with, he was wanting me to sell gym shoes. So he had given me this thing, like this pamphlet of gym shoes that he wanted me to sell. And I was like, oh my God, it was getting too much. I'm like, that really wasn't what I wanted to do. But he had gave me all this material. And he said, and he had a cousin like in another country that he wanted me to partner with. And they would like ship them to him. So they pay me and I would ship them, they would ship them out for me. I mean, we had it all worked out. And I said, I didn't want to do that. That just wasn't my gift. You know what I'm saying? So I decided against that. But I could have gave that business to somebody who, was young, but a lot of Black folk just don't want to be in their own business. It's too much work for them, or don't get off the ground as quick as they want it to, or because it does take time. So you will actually have to have you have to actually work a job, okay, and don't quit until that business is off the ground. And I would say at least a 6 months to a year. I would say totally you're working 2 jobs, 6 months to a year to get that business off the ground.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the part. Yeah, you got to realize, like, yeah, don't until you are sure that you are able to sustain yourself
Mm-hmm.
and have
In that
something
business.
that can fall back on in case it
Mm-hmm.
gets slow or anything.
Yeah, yeah.
And
You always stacking your bread. You always stacking. Just like for you, if you want to drive trucks, I know how you can get there. I'm just saying, you already talked to her. All you gotta do is call her. You
yeah,
remember Katrina? All you gotta do is call her.
mhm,
I'm telling you, she knows. She's already in the business. If you really want to drive trucks, call her up. She'll get you in there.
yeah, yeah, that's true. And Ross says she's 70 and always work for herself, selling
Yeah,
vegetables and fruit at the
yeah.
market.
Awesome.
Uh,
Yeah, you can do it.
and that's the thing, it don't have to be one thing. Bakari mentioned the cleaning the trash cans or whatever business. It could be like washing or cutting grass or anything that's out there. Like some people can like or have some children go to school selling candy to other students. You can get
Yes,
a
I
box
used
of
to do
candy
that
and
as
they
a
sell to
child.
you.
Yes, I
Yeah.
did that. I always
Mhm.
knew. And I'm gonna tell you, because my uncle did it, he would go and get the candy for me. And he would, that's how he started me off. He said, "Hey, I got something for you." And I didn't, I mean, I was talking about it, but I didn't really know I wanted to do it until he said, "Hey, take this to school and see how you do with it." And that's how he got me into it. And he actually donated the boxes. I had Snickers and Twix at the time and donated those two boxes to me. And I can maybe 75 cents or a dollar. I can't even remember, but it was, and I sold the whole box and I was like, wow, that was pretty cool. And had extra money. Then I bought the next boxes. He said, I'm going to give you these two, but you have to do the next. And I'm telling you, I made enough money. And that's the spirit. Every family has a spirit, whether it's entrepreneurship. Some people have a spirit of being police officers. Some people have a spirit of the family of being firefighters or army brats, or going to the service. So you have to, or writers. I've seen, look at Mariah Carey's daughter. She's got the spirit, her mom's spirit. She's a singer. So every family has that spirit. You just have to know the lineage, your lineage. What did your grandma used to do? Did your grandma used to cook? If your grandma cooked, that spirit is probably you're probably a caterer, or you can bake really good. It's one of the two. But you have to understand and not be afraid to step out. Just like I was telling my daughter, her one of her friends was baking. She's a really great baker. I mean, this girl. I said, why don't you bake some cakes and take either the half the cake in pieces, wrap them up, and sell them at work. That's how you can get your bakery. That's how you can get your business off. Then they taste your cakes and then they start buying the cakes. Have your cards and maybe feature a cake every week. Hey, this week is carrot cake, and let them pre-order. Let them pre-order it. And then they're paying for it. You got the money to buy the supplies because they paid for it already. You make them pay for it. You don't do a deposit. You don't, do it for free and then you collect the money. This is helping you to get money in your pocket to be able to buy the materials you're going to use. And that's what she does. She does the cakes, and sells them on her job. Now she's doing real good. But you have to understand what the gift is. And some people are just afraid. Black people are just afraid to step out. What is it going to cost you to step out to get into your business? You can build a website, sell your cakes on the website, or you can take them. You have your cards everywhere you go. You have a card. You don't necessarily need a building. You can go and sell your cakes anywhere. You can stand out in front of Food Lion. You can put a table up there and sell your cakes. You can do it. You have to start somewhere. We don't see enough vendors here in America. I see when I go overseas, I see nothing but vendors. People, black folk, Mexicans, they got businesses all up and down. In Africa, that's all you see. Black folk with their own businesses. And I'm like, why aren't we doing that here? We should have our tents out. I see more food trucks out, but I don't see the tents where we have our tents and we selling the jewelry and we selling the leathers and we selling the shoes. I don't see that here. I'm like, why? I know people are selling, they have their own businesses. Where are they? You go to flea market over here in Winston. Okay. Mexicans got a whole flea market and black folk got the nerves to be up in there. I'm like, why don't we have our own? You don't even have to call it a flea market. If you have a business forecast, I have a business forecast. Raw got a business. Bakari got a business. Oni got a business. Matron got a business. If all of us have a business, that's how many businesses? And you paying rent like $100 a week, $70 a week. I'm just coming up with a price. It can be enough of us in that business for us to pay the rent on that business. And still, after you pay your $70 a week, then the rest goes in your pocket. And everybody pay toward that building. Why aren't we doing that? You rather go and share a building with the Mexicans who don't even like you. Oh man, it just makes me sick when I see stuff like that.
Yeah,
We talk about the hospitals. We can have our own birthing centers. You have doulas. Okay, why don't I see a doula? Why don't I see a birthing center in our Black communities? We talk about these white doctors, right? Why aren't these nurses and doctors getting together and creating their own wellness center? It don't take but a small building. I looked at a building myself. This was maybe a few months ago. I looked at a building because I wanted to get people. I was looking at the Mexicans, and I'm like, I can't do all of this. I'm trying to take on too much. But I had looked at two sides. One side was going to be for the lawyers, the doctors, and the a dentist. Okay, I was going to have that part, and they were going to get paid. They was going to pay me rent, and then the clients was going to come to them, and the clients was going to maybe pay the dentist like $40 to get seen. You understand? We was going to keep it really low, but they were going to pay me rent. But it was, if you have it low enough, Black folk will come. And then I said, okay, this side can be for like the different Black owned businesses, and each section, each part would have had like a little section, and I could have fit at least 20 vendors in there. And each vendor was going to pay like $100. Like I said, each vendor pay a month, weekly fee. Then that way you can get the rent paid, and they still had money. They would have money for their pockets. But I just can't do it all. I can't. I have a
yeah,
lot of ideas. So y'all want some ideas? I can give you some ideas. You just have to do it. What is your gift? You have to know your gift.
yeah. I agree with that. And let me say, shouts out to Erica in the building. She got chef in the chair, and I still want the strawberry. I mean, not the strawberry, cotton candy
She got
cake.
what?
Chef in the chair.
What's that?
That's her business.
Wow. Okay.
Um,
Oh, that's good. So you need to be advertising that thing.
yeah. But so yeah, I definitely agree with you. And let me ask you one more because I want to show you something too because you mentioned doula. I want to show you. Um, but let me ask you one last question though. Like for like the young people, like which like I guess say your first business, but it could be any business. However many businesses it takes, but what is some of the positive? Yeah, the cotton candy cake. Yeah, I still want that
Oh
joint, but
wow, that sounds good.
hey,
Woo!
that's what I'm talking about. I was like,
That
I want one.
sounds good.
Well, yeah. So, what is some of the positive things that you think comes with owning the business? Like some of the positive or good things you got to look forward to.
Wow, gosh. Let me just take it for instance, my granddaughter. When she loves her beauty, so we set her up, had a name, had her table, and her first little outing was at I think it was in Virginia. Where God, you remember the bus station up there on what is that? It's like and the young kids come there. I can't. It was the young kids come there, and they have like every summer they have the young folks uh businesses. Okay, they really horny and
Oh
on young
yeah. Oh, you
people.
talking about like Second Street Festival or something?
Yes, it's up there on by the bus station. You know what the bus station is in Virginia, down Richmond, the bus station.
Hmm.
Okay, they used to have one way out there at the old bus station, right? And they moved it, right? But the one before they moved it, it was way up there by Cary Street in Cary area. Okay. And right at that library, is at the corner right there at the library, they had like a library, but they would have young people in there, and her first business was there. And we laid at her table, we had her a name, and she was doing nails. Okay, I think my daughter paid probably $30 or $40 for her to have a table set up there, and she was doing nothing but nails. That was getting her that was introducing her to entrepreneurship, that was seeing if this was something she really wanted to do. And then she started doing parties. Okay, rather she would go to their parties, and then she was having them to come to her house if they wanted braids or if they wanted their nails done. So we was just trying to see if this is something she really wanted to do. And of course, she's still doing it today. But this was her first, and she was so happy doing her own thing because she's going to get accolades. She's getting her own money. Then we started teaching her how to budget her money and how to save her money. But the best thing about it was seeing her smile when she was doing those nails. She was at her peak. She loved it. And that's how we knew that that was her gift. But my thing is, we as parents have to start, and I know all kids are not entrepreneurs. That's just what was in our family. Okay. It might be some kids out there that love to write poems or love to write books. If you have a child that love to read, I guarantee you they'll love to write out their own stories because they got a whole story up in their heads. You understand? So why not get them into writing their own kid story? You understand what I'm saying? You could look this stuff up about the kids owning, writing their children novels and stuff. It doesn't take a whole lot to write a kid's story up. You could talk about hair. You can talk about a whole lot of stuff, just what kids go through, David's adventure or something, and they have such an imagination. But the main thing is they're doing their own thing. They're not being stressed out by white folk trying to work on their businesses, work on their plantations. They are really doing what they love to do. And people love to help out kids. Just like some parents on here. If you know that you have a child and your child is an entrepreneur, you can rent out a building and get like your child plus maybe 5 or 10 of his friends to come in and have little entrepreneur night. And like a Friday or a Saturday, let them come in on that Saturday and show their talents. That's what we do as parents. We pull their talents out you pull their talents out, especially if you know what they love to do. But so many times we'll see our kids have talents and we'll constantly talk about working a job. Why are we talking about working a job when they have their own gifts? Let's start talking about them working their own businesses. Let's
Yeah.
stop planting those seeds in their minds. Okay.
Yeah, that's a fact. And yeah, and consider they changed like the city all the way up. They got a lot of like, white people coming here now, and but they still got the Second Street Festival. They got it over there by Jackson Ward now. But I went,
Oh
when they had
wow,
it
they
last
moved
summer.
way down there.
Yeah, by Second Street, like right when you get close to the Jackson Ward area.
Yeah, because that area was all black at one time, right?
Hmm.
They didn't put condos up down there, right?
Yeah, like,
Mhm.
it's like $1,600 for like a 1 bedroom
I
place
was
out
gonna
there.
say, yeah, because I remember way back, I was had an opportunity to buy those three. It was three apartment buildings together, and I didn't see the vision. Boy, I tell you, I can stop myself every time I go past there because I see what they've done to them. I'm like, dang, I didn't have the vision, but I always knew what I wanted. But it was just not time yet, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was way back in the day before those
Hmm.
condos actually got up there. I used to live in Richmond.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Because all that stuff was new. Because they didn't been building that stuff like, So these been the last couple years, but they still got the Second Street Festival where you got all the black businesses down there. So like, you can still go down there and get whatever, like paintings, like or whatever, like and all the black businesses in the local areas usually come to that. Not everyone, but most of
Wow. Okay, that's new.
them.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Hmm.
And how many black kids do you see doing that though?
There's a lot out there. It's like
Okay.
crowd. It's like down there by like close to where the Coliseum at.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Wow. Okay. That's
yeah,
pretty good. That's a good thing. Yes.
it be packed all the time. It's like and there's nothing. It's like, well, you see a couple other people down there, but it's black people. Like and it'd be packed. So where you gotta like squeeze past people. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Richmond gonna be the next Georgia, huh?
Hmm.
I mean, that wouldn't be bad though. I'm telling you, it's time for us globally to start rising up and let your kids, if you know that they have an entrepreneur spirit, let's stop encouraging them to go to 4-year colleges. You don't need to get in debt to have your own business. A lot of these entrepreneurs have never gone to college and they making that bread. They're making money. So if you sitting up there telling, oh, let's go to college. No, I can pay my accountant to do my books. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna look over them. I can add. Come on now, you can add. We can all add and make sure he's doing your books right. You know what I'm saying? But as far as me needing to go to college to have my own business, no, that's a gift. You don't need to go to school for your gift. just like beauty, hair. I was doing hair at 9. I was dyeing my hair at 12 and 13. I would come out with some beautiful color. And my mom would look at me like, and how she was like, how in the world? But that was a gift. And my granddaughter got it now. You understand? I was coloring my hair at 14. We going, and I remember the Jerry, this way back in the day, the Jerry curl came out, right? So the first Jerry curl I got, I went to a beautician so I could see how she did it. And I started doing it because I had to see it first. And once I saw how she was doing it and how oh man, it was on. I went and bought the stuff myself and started practicing. And I tell you, and I would get hey, it was good. I'm telling you, that's a gift. When you see your child like inventing things and they're building stuff, okay, that's his gift. Find out the extent of building. Like, is he trying to be a builder? Does he want to build houses? Does he want to build what? What's he want to build? Okay. You could have like those older cars, okay? That might be his gift, building cars or mechanics or something, you have to really watch. Just like some kids are into computers. Okay, well, what part? Are they cybersecurity? Are they hacking legally? Put them in school now, a trade school. I'm not talking about a 4-year college. I don't believe in allowing taking our babies from a home that you've had most of the control over them for 18 years, right? And then all of a sudden you roll them into college that they got no rules, no discipline. It's just wild kingdom. And these colleges getting high, they having sex, they drinking, they drugging, and we just throwing our children in there and thinking we're doing something. In 2 years, your daughter got pregnant, she's on drugs, she's drinking, she's sexing, and you come, and you're in debt $40,000-$50,000 because she didn't change her major 15 times. And every time you change your major, that's then $10,000. And parents don't understand that. Let's do the trade schools. Remember, in high school, we used to do the trade schools. They used to send us to school. Back in my day, we came out when you can get a beautician's license, you can get a plumber, HVAC license, and Reagan and Nixon, baby, back in they took that out of schools because I remember we were allowed to get certifications and open up our own plumbing. I had friends that had plumbing businesses, they had HVAC businesses, and they was working, for themselves. And then they, white folks, Nixon and them saw that and they took that away. And now what? You got to go to 4-year colleges and you put you in 2 years of prereqs. And then they'll turn around and start teaching you your major. You don't need 2 more years of math. You didn't have math 12 years. Why do I need to go to a 4-year college for 2 more years of math? Kids get tired. 2 years, they're done. They're going to quit. So no, send them to a 15-month trade school or 18-month trade school if they have to go to school. It might be a little extra money, but guess what? They're going to be in and out and into their business, into doing their jobs if that's what they want to do. So you just have to learn your child's gifts.
Yeah. So Cassidra, I want to show you before we get off of here, because I also want to show those businesses again that we saw at the beginning. But I want to show. I was trying to show this yesterday, just some positive about some Black businesses, but I also want to show.
Are setting up shop inside the Broadway market every weekend for the month of February. News 4 Sarah Mankiewicz caught up with a few locally owned businesses who are showcasing their passion, talent, and history.
It feels great. I love the energy. I love the atmosphere. I love all the lenders and vendors that's here. I just love it.
Every Saturday in February, more than 40 local Black-owned businesses will set up shop inside the Broadway market.
It's very important because we're small businesses, and when we're collaborating with one another, one great thing. The other thing is that we're getting to know other businesses, and we're able to present our craft, our passions.
Brenda McCarley owns Chickalia Desserts and says it's a treat to be part of this pop-up event.
It's a great honor to be here, Black History Month, celebrating Black History Month with the buyback event.
Felicia Doucette is excited to bring some soul food to the Broadway market.
That's what makes me happy, that Black History Month is being acknowledged. Black History Month is special to all of us in and outside of the community. Like I said, it's a positive thing within the community, and I'm so glad I'm a part of it.
From food to music to art, the pop-up event has it all to celebrate Black History Month.
The red is for the blood, the black is for the skin, and the green is for the land. So that's the significance of those colors. And that's why it's really important to us to represent those colors and, to let our flags fly.
City officials.
All right, so and it's really good, these businesses get to interact and meet each other. But I would just say this, not criticizing or nothing, just the idea, like to consider point just now, like you have all of these black businesses now that we get to meet instead of just doing this once a month at some other business. Maybe we could put our resources together and have like a building or something together.
Yeah. Yes, I hope they're going to do this and continue it. And I hope right now they're even looking for a business because even with you is that in Richmond area? Where's that area?
No, I forgot. I had this yesterday. I knew it's not here though. It's like
Oh,
somewhere.
okay. But even like with that, you can get a building down there in Richmond and almost like a flea market, but don't call it a flea market. I hate that name. Call it something else, like the new entrepreneurs or something jazzy. You know what I'm saying? And rent out those spaces. You can block them off and have at least 50 people in that, or 20 people if you get a smaller place. You can do at least 20 vendors. But we have to start somewhere. Why do this just Black History Month? These are talents. These are people with gifts. Why aren't we doing this all the time? This right here should be encouraging a lot of us on here. Even you, Grandma, used to say, I'm just saying, you got a talent right there. Don't just do it in your house, take it out. Stand out, go out there in front of Walmart. Go out there in front of some of these parks, these little villages, little malls. You know what I'm saying? That's not, that's business, but not necessarily in front of Walmart. But Walmart will let you do it anyway. But I'm just saying, even in front of some of those stores that selling candles, if you got candles, come on out and sell your candles. Come on out this summer and put up your tents and challenge yourself and start just sitting out there opening up your own business. A lot of times you don't even need a business license right now. Okay. For you to sit up under a tent and even go to Eventbrite and look to see who's doing what and go and join some of these entrepreneurs that's sitting up the tents and go out there and start your business like that. Or you go out there on the side of the road, park your car in one of these parking lots and set up your tent and start doing your business. Let's stop waiting for white folks to tell us it's okay to do it. And then you have some people, maybe you and somebody else can go be out there together, and then other people will come. I'm just saying, we got to do it. We got to start somewhere. I see Mexico doing it all the time. They got these little tents up, and they under that tent. They say, got all this, and they sell it, and they sell it. They making their money. Why do we always have to work for white folk? I'm not saying nothing wrong with that. Work with them till you can get your business to where it needs to go. Then you bye-bye. I'm gone. I'm out.
Yeah.
Then you're done.
Yeah, that's a fact. And shouts out to Shanique in the building. She said, absolutely consider that change aided in the derailing the success of average students in the Black community. Not every student is interested in spending 4 years in college, and the environment can cause the ruination of some young people.
Yeah, that environment is horrible. I mean, A&T is out here by me, A&T, and I'm telling you, UNCG and High Point University, which is the drug place ever. It's a private university, and I mean that thing. You want drugs? Go at High Point University. I'm just saying, because them white boys got them drugs. It's just crazy, and everybody know it, but they get away with it because they can. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So all right, let me because you were speaking of this is in Milwaukee though, but I had to play this because I know you talk about the doulas a lot, and I know that's important, and this is one from Black women that's kind of recent, that I never played.
Black mothers are 5 times higher at risk of dying from pregnancy-related causes.
Fox 6's Spencer Tracy has why on investing in doulas to help positive outcomes.
Was actually told I wasn't able to have children.
The setbacks did not stop Tanya Ramsey. She is expecting her first child in 5 days. In addition to her husband, Ramsey has another support system, her doula.
Hi.
Michelle Wilkins works with the Milwaukee Health Department. She helps families with pregnancy, childbirth, and postpartum recovery.
We like to focus more on making sure mom is like mentally and spiritually supported.
Squeeze. Ramsey is delivering her baby without epidural or other medication. Wilkins says her role is to improve birthing outcomes. City data from 2018 to 2020 shows Black babies in Milwaukee are nearly 3 times more likely to die before their first birthday than white babies.
I feel more confident and proud.
The doula program in Milwaukee originated back in 2019. Since then, they have served 265 families and have birthed 237 healthy babies.
Wow.
It's a free program for Milwaukee women who are less than 30 weeks pregnant. The program originally started with 4 doulas. Mayor Cavalier Johnson's 2024 budget proposal is funding 4 more full-time doulas.
It'll be definitely helpful to have more.
She gets me. I love her.
Brittany Marin had a
Yeah, so that's important.
I love it. Yes. That's what we need in our neighborhoods, man. If we complaining and we're saying, hey, our babies are dying 5 times, okay, more than anybody else's baby. Tell me why. Okay, if we know that, then we need our own doulas. And I'm telling you, even with Ram in the Bush, I was trying to find one. I couldn't find one. I couldn't find all I wanted them to do. And a lot of these white women are getting into this now. They're getting into it more so than us. And I wanted to hook up with one just to teach my girls, you know what I'm saying? Or show me a class where I can find a class to send my girls, because I wanted to have that in our community, because that's much needed. This is a much need for our communities. We can do the doulas and we can have birthing centers in every Black neighborhood there is. And we can start with 5 beds for now. 5 beds, and then grow that mug to 25 beds in a matter of a year. I'm just saying, there's things that we could do to stop this. We sit here knowing what they do in our babies, and we'll still go to them every chance we get. And I remember one doctor told the woman that he was going to ruin her, and this was on, and this was something that somebody said, right? The doctor told her what he was getting ready to do, but she was getting ready to go under. So how's she gonna stop him? You understand what I'm saying? So why do we even have to be subjected to that? And you ask me, what is the joy of us owning our own? You live longer because you ain't got to put up with that racist crap. Seriously, we don't need them to support. I mean, yes, we can have them. Yes, we'll take their money, but then you go home. You know what I'm saying? So money is green, okay? I'm saying, but we don't need you on our board. We don't need you on the board.
Yeah, facts. You want to give the money, take the money, but get up out of here.
Hey,
hurry up and buy.
Exactly. Hurry. What can we do for you? And you know, even when my cousin or my daughter, sorry, would go to them some of these like these little places where they would just do like a lot of marketing, and they would have, she would pay probably $40 to go to some of these little things that they would have, on weekends. Black owned businesses would get together, and every now and then you'll see the little white folk trying to come in there, and I'm just looking at them to see, why are you here? You're trying to be nosy, trying to count our pockets, because you really don't, and they already know Black folks spend, right? They already know that. But they're trying to count your pockets and trying to see, well, can I bring my friend over here? Because they know we don't spend money. We don't spend money. They the one that don't spend money, but we love to spend money. But just seeing how they would just even come over there, just when we were trying to just be all Black, you would see 1 or 2, specks in there, 1 or 2. And I'm like, why are you here? But I understand. Go ahead. I understand. They're trying to get our monies. That's all it is.
Yeah. But yeah, check this out, right? So this is in Richmond, where this just happened. They said they had a doula open up the first birthing center in Richmond.
Nestled in Chesterfield off of Midlothian Turnpike.
It's meant to feel like a place where people see themselves and they feel seen, they feel safe.
Sits a new space where new life is welcomed.
After she had her baby, I have everyone walk to the front. We have a big throne there. And I have everyone take a picture in the throne holding their baby. Like, I had my baby. I did it.
We introduced you to Rashad Tahini, Lawler Queen, back in February as the 4th-generation midwife was aiming to transform a Richmond home into a birth.
They said 4th generation.
4th generation, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
For moms.
I was on a Zoom call with Black birth workers from RVA, and they were just telling me about what they were facing in regards to the lack of representation in birth, especially in out-of-hospital birth.
And now, months later, with the community's help, she's done just that and opened the state's only Black-owned birthing center.
In Gather Grounded Midwifery's Birth Cottage. And this is the Freedom Birth Suite. So I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to let you come in and feel it. Most people that want a water birth, they love the water.
Despite having to change locations because of permit issues, the 20-year midwife persevered.
You heard that, Cassandra?
Yeah, I heard it. You heard it. Yeah, I heard it. You already know why.
On the new place to welcome new babies into the world.
This is going to be like labor. It's going to take me down all different roads, and I know where I'm trying to get to, but how I'm going to get there, I don't know. And I couldn't have opened this space without all of the generous donations, all of the love.
With the GoFundMe raising over $30,000 and the business receiving donations of all types.
Can I give you art? People who came and they wanted to give toys, they wanted to drop off diapers.
Lawler Queen says it's because of the community support she's able to support other families through one of the most significant moments of their lives.
It really gives them even more power. It gives them a greater voice, and it provides them the opportunity to birth without fear, to birth in freedom, to give birth to their baby in a way that affirms them and affirms their family and affirms how they want to move forward after they have this baby.
Lawler Queen says she can't say thank you enough to the community for all the love and support she's received. So if you or someone you know is hoping
Now,
to...
I know people don't have faith in the community, but that's a good thing. What you think about that, Cassandra?
That is amazing. I love it. I love it. Oh my God. I'm so excited for her. And this is what we need, so many more of these. We should never be coming out of a hospital ever again. Ever. Because if this is something you want to do, it's not that long to become a doula. I think it's what, 10 months maybe? I'm just saying. And money. You know, Black folk love to have babies. We're going to have some babies. The other folk may not, but we can have babies. We have no problem. And that's how much needed. And just like she got this one, she can have a 5-bedroom, and she probably can have a 5-bedroom now. She got the one room. Why not? Why not?
Yeah, that's a fact, you know. And
she should be teaching classes, you know. She should be passing that legacy on and having at least 5 working under her, going into homes.
Yeah, she said she was it says she was 4th generation, and like that's one thing we don't have a deficiency at, you know, that other groups have, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know. I mean, 4 generations. I mean, they've been doing this for a long time. So that needs to be spread out. More women, more Black women need to be getting into this. And I'm telling you, if you have 10 women up under you and you send them out to 10 different homes, that's money. That's money coming back into your business. So yes, you can have a 5-bedroom hospital, a 5-bedroom birthing center, you know, or a wellness center connected to it. That's money. You might have to go into the homes for the first year, 2 years maybe, just to get the money to get the building. But at least you start somewhere.
And that, like I said, that's not far. That's just like, for me, that would be South Side, you know, Richmond.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Right over South Side. So it's not even far, you know.
And you know, you can get a building on South Side in no time.
Yeah.
Midlothian, you can go right down Midlothian and get you a building. You can be right up there and still make some money.
But you know, they trying to take that area too, especially like since VCU been getting a lot of money and buying up a lot of property, and then they trying. It's just like crazy right now. Like they trying to, like, you know, kick.
I know.
They
call
tore
it
down the mall.
They call it gentrification, but it's really segregation because it's so expensive you can't even afford it. So they changed the name from segregation to gentrification. That's all it is. Because everything goes up so high that Black folk can't even afford it. They know what they're doing. They'll let that area get so bad, then they move Black folk, run from those areas. Then all of a sudden, now there's no more crime. And now they ban up everything. They know what they're doing. Come on now, dude. Come on. They doing Oakland, California like that. Oakland so bad, you can't even live there. So bad. There ain't no businesses down there. But it's on purpose because they're getting ready to gentrify that.
Yeah, so And that's why it's a good thing. And then, like I'm telling you, like when you go out there, there are people who will be like nasty. There are people who is not trying to hear it, but also there are people who will be out there helping you. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely. Absolutely. And people, everybody, and see, with us, we have the money, but we may not be able to get it by ourselves. So this is why your doctors, your nurses come together, your teachers, your principals come together and create these schools. We have a whole school online. Why are we continuously having our children in their schools with them teaching your children LGBT now? You can't teach them how to invest. You can't teach them how to own their own business. You can't teach them how stocks and bonds. You can't teach them anything. But I can put a dress on your little baby, your little 2-year-old son, right? And shame on parents that's allowing this. You know what they teaching your children, and you keep your child there. Shame on you. This is why I say Black folk don't like their children. Because if we did, we would take them away. We would have been taking them out of their hands. Because we know what they're getting taught. We know they're not getting taught. Yeah, grown people coming out of high school can't read. Seriously, what are we doing here? Why? What was it called school for? And that was your job, to teach my child how to read. So don't sit up there and tell me, oh no, what was your job? What was he coming there for? You weren't going to teach him. Oh, so we can indoctrinate him, so we can do what we want to, so we can make him nothing, so we can put him in jail. That's the next step. No, we knew that, but shame on us for allowing it.
Yeah.
We have Black schools that we can send our children. We can donate for the first year online, and then get your numbers up in your area and get a building. Come on now, we know what to do.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and before we get off here too, I was going to show but I can't play none of these, but these is like business grants you can get. That you gotta like kind of look it up, because like all of these videos, I don't really want to play them, but there are specific loans. I guess I could just show like a little bit of it.
Question: would you build a website?
I guess like you can do the research on that one, because we'll talk about that in another time too. So, all right, let's just go to. This is a Black bank here. I was going to show this one yesterday too, and then we're going to show Cassidra's video.
12 News celebrates Black History Month. Wisconsin's oldest Black-owned bank is marking 100 years in Milwaukee.
In tonight's Project Community, 12 News' Jaron Jordan shows why you can't put a price on the bank's impact on the community over the last century.
This old building at the intersection of 20th and Fond du Lac in Milwaukee has a history as storied as the neighborhoods it represents.
There was Walnut Way, there was Hellyer Park, there was Bronzeville. These were strong, thriving African-American neighborhoods in the central city of Wisconsin.
Founded September 24th, 1924 by Artie and Wilbur Halliard, Columbia Savings and Loan Association filled a big void.
You can imagine that a Black-owned business in the United States was not a welcome thing, let alone a Black-owned bank. The reason that the Halliard started is they understood that we didn't have access to funds at regular banks and financial institutions in the country at the time.
In fact, it was the only place that gave Mr. McKenzie a loan. Now his grandson is the bank's vice president.
For me personally, to be able to work at a financial institution where my great-grandfather got a loan at a time when he couldn't walk into most banks and get a loan, to me, that's the priceless part. You had A.L. Smith and Miller was here and Pabst and African Americans, go get a factory. You graduate high school, go get a factory job and take care of your family. And then the factories left. And that changed the economic landscape of not only Milwaukee, but specifically Black Milwaukee.
When we talk about Black financial literacy, what do you think that people don't understand when you talk about the history and the hurdles?
The mistrust. I think that is the first issue that people have to overcome. We always hear about grandma has this mattress money, or there's just keeping money in a coffee can somewhere. It's because one day they went to the bank and they told them, no, you can't have your money. These things actually happen. So when your grandmother and your grandfather and your uncles and your aunts are all telling you don't put money in the bank because one day it's not going to be there for you, because that was their personal experience, it leads down through, let's say, generational mistrust. When Black families weren't allowed to purchase homes for years and years and years, and then there was redlining in certain neighborhoods. You emulate what you see growing up. So unfortunately, many of us saw our parents renting, so we emulate that. Many of the people in our community were renting, so we emulate that.
That's what you guys are still working to address and to correct. How do you do that even now?
It is day by day, one by one. It is, we understand that we have to get the customers in here and show them the importance of financial literacy.
This year, the bank is celebrating 100 years, one of the oldest in the state and one of just 41 Black-owned banks in the nation.
The way that we study Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, I hope that one day people will study Columbia Savings and Loan in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and what it did to not only change that city, but change the nation in the way finances are handled and looked at in our community.
What would Mr. Halyard say today, 100 years after he founded this institution?
I hope he would say good job. I hope he would be impressed. The thing that I hope he would say most is just to keep going. That motivation to say, good job, keep going. You're doing the right thing.
In Milwaukee, I'm Jaron Jordan, WISN 12.
Yeah, so, there you got it with the Black Bank or whatever.
That's what we need in our community also. We need our own banks. But a lot of times, just like he said, a lot of times we won't even support those banks like that. We'll rather take them to Wells Fargo, who hates Black people, who has done so much harm to Black people, what did the man tell you? The manager said that he couldn't find any Black leaders, like managers and stuff. Ain't that what the Wells Fargo man said? When they asked him why you didn't, he said, he couldn't find any qualified Black managers. What in the world? Who says something like that? Really? But we'd rather give our monies to him than to sit up here and give it to the bank we just saw.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. So all right, before we get off of here, I guess next time, if they want to come on here, I don't know, but I know we've been on here for a while. I don't want to keep you on here too long. But I do want to show what we were showing earlier, with the Smoothie Queen and all of that.
Hey y'all, you got the Smoothie Queen here. How are you guys? Yes. Okay. So I'm a mobile business. So I gave him the card. Yeah, I gave him the card. So I have a card. No, not right now. I'm shopping with my baby. She wanted to come to the mall with her friend. Hey y'all, so you got the Smoothie Queen here. I wanted to come live to shout out one of the businesses in Fayetteville. They are located in the Cross Creek Mall, and they're called Popcorn Pleasers. So it's a new popcorn shop in Cross Creek Mall next to the Lens Crafters. Let me show y'all where I'm at. The Lens Crafters is right here. They're right across. And right now I'm speaking with my new friend Troy, right?
I like to say this. She's the Smoothie Queen.
Yes.
I'm the Popcorn King.
Okay.
You can't make this up.
Yeah, he making me a Chicago mix, y'all.
And the key word
Yes, definitely. Yes. Heavy rotation. Let's go. I'm all about supporting businesses because at the end of the day, this is what we need. Y'all, he out here doing this thing in Fayetteville and Cross Creek Mall. It's called Popcorn Pleasers. Black-owned business, which is hey y'all.
Yeah, so definitely shouts out to that one. And then Cassidra, you about Direct Recruit Agency, you want to say that again? Is your friend's business?
That's by a really good friend. She's Black, and she just is opening up her own recruiting services for nurses, cyber. That's what she's starting out with. So yeah, you need a job, reach out. She's amazing, on fire, and talking about taking it to Africa. I'm like, girl, I'm with you. She is like motivated, and she's ready. She's good to go, ready to do it.
Yeah. So definitely, if you and let me see. Let me go down to her. This is her information. If you want to contact her, if you in this area. So yeah, and definitely support that, you know. So consider it, this is, you know, just the first one, and we'll get into deeper subjects like about good businesses, bad business practices, and just a bunch of different things about Black business, because I think that this is a discussion that we need to
Yeah.
have, you know. So
Yeah.
like, what you think about how the first one went, you know?
I love it. I think it's I love it. It's just up to, the people that's coming to visit, after we leave here, what do they think about it? It's time for us as Black people to start leaving our children with legacies. Right now we're leaving them EBT. I don't want to leave my child EBT. I'm trying to, I'm creating generational wealth over here myself. I want to retire within the next year. Okay. I say by the end of this year, maybe this year, maybe next year, but I'm trying to get up out of there. I'm creating generational wealth right now myself. So I'm not just talking, I'm doing it. I'm actually doing everything I've talked about. I'm doing it for myself. Okay. So it's not just me. Ooh, I'm thinking, no, I'm actually putting things in place. I have a place in Myrtle Beach and I'm renting it out to the visiting nurses, the traveling nurses. Okay. And it took money, but I know what I'm trying to do. And I'm just hoping that we as Black people can start doing something. Real estate, you can't go wrong with real estate. Either you're doing Airbnb or you're doing traveling nurses or you're doing stewardess, travel stewardess. So I'm just saying it's time for us to think outside the box and stop always looking for a job and sending our children to these 4-year colleges. These colleges are wrecking. I mean, they are wreaking havoc on our children because a lot of these kids have been, in the, around their parents. They have not ever had, uh, been outside of the village. And all of a sudden you throw them into this big university with no rules, no regulations, nobody telling them to get up to go to school, nobody telling them, setting a clock for them. Nobody is coming to their door, waking them up in the morning. Nobody is, I mean, they're on their own. So that's a big difference from when you have a child and up to 18 years, you was waking them up. You think they don't go to school and wake themselves up after you've been waking them for 18 years. No, let's stop with the madness and let's stop sending our children to fight for a country that hate them. This country don't like you, but you're going to send your child to the service, tell them so they can get a good education. Trust me, they got a good education. All they have to do is go file for that federal grant and look for some scholarships and go to this 15 month program or 18-month program, get their certification, get then some of these are associate's degrees, and be well on your way with your own business or working for somebody. It's up to you, because I know everybody's not entrepreneurs, but at least let my granddaughter create a job for your granddaughter. I'm just saying, if they're not entrepreneurs, at least you can work for somebody Black. But now we're going to get on Black folk. Let's not come with all this attitude. If you a business owner, I don't want to work with a business owner that's a crabby, a creep every day. No, you get one day. You get one day a month to be a witch, okay? But not every day. It shouldn't be to where I come to work. And if I'm working for you and you come here cussing me out or talking to me like crazy, like you crazy. No, that's a topic too that we as Black folk need to have. Because I done been to some businesses and I'm seeing the manager cussing out the employer. Excuse me, who are you talking to like that? There's somebody in front of me. No, we don't do that. And be ready to cuss me out because I'm checking up. You understand what I'm saying? No, all of these conversations need to be had on how pricing should go, on our attitudes. All of this is connected. You can't have one without the other because it's all connected. And if you don't know how to treat me and you don't know how to talk to me when I come to your store, I'm not coming back. Period. I'm still not going to spend with them, but I'm not coming back to you. And we even had a conversation before I not come back because I want to give you an opportunity to fix it. And then if I order something and it's not right, I'm gonna come to you because before I'm not gonna get online. I've seen that to where Black folk come into a person's business and they don't like it for whatever happened. And maybe they didn't give you as much food as you thought, and then you blasted them online. No, did you talk to them first? See, it's all together. We really have to know how to treat each other in order to support each other. I rest my mic.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And that's why I wanted to do this because I think that you have a lot of information and you can help people and motivate people to get out there and do that. And so we definitely got to start doing something positive, like you were saying, because I do think the information needs to be out there.
I even think as far as summer camps, we need to have like summer camps. You know what I'm saying? Entrepreneur camps.
Right.
Getting our babies out there, giving them the bright ideas, pulling their gifts out because other kids see other kids doing, they gonna want to do it. But if they don't see, even in these high schools, they could be having these entrepreneur camps. You would think that that would be what they were doing. No, but they want to put out, have a all girls dress day for men. Come on, what are we doing? Wear your leotards today. Wear your tutu, men. Come on. We could be teaching them how to dress for successes. Don't wear no dress. You wearing suits today. We're dressing for success. We're dressing for where we're going. But I don't see them doing this. That's what we used to do. We used to have Dress for Success Day. I see more men in dresses in some of these colleges than ever before. And I'm like, what are we promoting here? Harvard, go to Howard. I'm sorry, go to Howard. You'll see more men in dresses, but I don't see none in Harvard University. Do you? I'm just saying, we got to stop. We have to have our camps for our babies. And I think somebody on here could start a camp. Oni, let's start a camp. I'm just saying. He's got a son. Let's start your own camp. I can't do everything. I'll show you how to do it. But I don't want to be part of everything.
Oni is a physicist.
What? Man, okay. So he could be teaching some kids some. What does he do with that? Come on. Is he creating some type of potion or something? He could be using that talent.
Yeah, I was watching a movie the other day. It was like, oh yeah, we need a physicist to make this happen.
Okay.
So we definitely gonna need a physicist.
He could do it. He's got a young son too. You know what I'm saying? He could be teaching these young boys, having a mentorship program. We got to start somewhere. Our little boys need being like you forecast, Oni, Bakari. Our little boys need that positive male role model that we know we can trust our babies with. Some of these men, they so gay you can't even trust your little boys with them. They come back switching. You understand what I'm saying? No, you can't be sitting up there switching and be a mentor to my son. The devil's a lie. No, we're not doing that. But I'm just saying we need positive male role models teaching our young boys how to be men, how to be supporters, how to be protectors, providers, how to we are teaching you how to be future husbands, not baby daddies. You understand? This is much needed in our communities. We got to get busy here. And we're not doing that. I don't know what we're doing. What we see on internet now. Black men don't like black women. Who cares? Come on. Why waste your time on that conversation? If it's not a coon, thing, we don't want to. Come on. We got to do better. We got to start somewhere. What legacy are we leaving our children? Ask yourself that right now. What legacy am I leaving my daughters? What legacy am I leaving my granddaughter? What legacy? I'm building everything I'm doing right now is for my daughter, my granddaughters. Period. Everything I'm doing. Because in 10 years I get done, I'm done. You can have it. Take it and run with it. And I know my daughter and granddaughter will be ready for it. Because I have two entrepreneurs that's walking side by side. She's ready.
Yeah.
But we got to start somewhere. Go ahead, forecast.
No, I was just agreeing with you. Yeah, you got to start somewhere, and I guess going forward, I guess maybe we'll do it on Fridays. I try to do it on one day, but I try not to promise on one day because you never know what happens in life, But I guess we'll aim for to start doing it every Friday, creating legacies. You know what I'm saying? Talking about business, and I encourage other people to get involved and add to the conversation with us.
Yes.
And different things that we talk about. And if anybody suggests have any suggestions about it, then definitely want to hear that. But yeah, it's time. I definitely want to talk about something more positive, and just do what we do. So I definitely appreciate you considering y'all support Rome in the Bush and what Cassidra is doing, because like she's telling the truth. She's like she gets it done, and it inspired me to what I'm saying, go harder. So
Thank you for that. But thank you for, thank you for this. Thank you for this show, because it's time. I love it. Thank you so much for even asking me to do it. But I think we all need to come on here and have, ask questions, or maybe you're thinking about something and you may not know how to quite get it out there. Hey, if we can help, or we can look it up and come back to you, but we have to start somewhere. We have to be motivated to change our own situations. We're looking for two decrepit old guys. One needs to be in a damn wheelchair and the other one needs to be in a nursing home. And we're looking for one of them
you
to
probably
save
fall
us.
out the wheelchair.
What the hell? We're looking for them to save. You mean to tell me your worst enemy is going to save you? And we got some enemies in this world, okay? Ain't nobody perfect. But I'm just saying, I don't know none of mine yet, but I'm just saying, I'm sure I got some. But I'm just saying, do you think I would trust them to help me to get free, to feed me? No. No. But we looking to white folk. Two white racist presidential candidates. All of them up there are racist. And we got the nerves to look for them and argue against one another which devil gonna treat us the worst. Because they ain't gonna treat you no better than the last one. Because we had Biden, then we had Trump. What did he do? And now you're talking about going back to one that didn't like you the first time. Come on, you guys, let's do better. Come on. Come on. The only people that's going to save us is us. And God is trying to show us we didn't need them after COVID. All we had to do was take them PPP loans and build something. Build your own. We sat right there and went right back under the people that made you get them, the little lollipops, I'm going to call them that. They made you get a deadly lollipop we're just doing some stuff to your bodies now. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm just saying, okay? And you trusted them and went right back to work up under them, instead of you creating your own. Because I know a lot of people on here can bake. They can bake their butts off. Grandma, you say, okay, you need to be cutting them cakes up and you need to be selling them slice by slice or a whole cake for $50. I'm just saying, there are things that we could be doing to get ourselves out of this mess. But are we brave enough to do it? I'm not saying quit your jobs yet. I'm saying use your job as a stepping stone to create your own business so we can shut these Chinese down in our neighborhoods. So we can shut these Arabs down. So we can shut these Indians down. They wouldn't give you no money, but you come together, pull your monies together and shut their asses down. Period. Build a business. You go right across the street from them and you dare one of them black folks to step in they shop. You dare 'em. Step over there if you want to. You better get over here and get these greens. You better come on over here and get these grits from this community store that we have in our community. They're not putting no money back in our communities. Them little stores they got about to fall down, and we go and support them every day. You take your welfare, your little food stamps over there, and the price is so high. A pack of cheese, $7. What in the world? Pack of bologna, $10. What are we doing here? And they can taking all your little corner food stamps and double dipping, and you didn't spend all your little food stamps on that little corner store that doubled the price and everything. Milk was $5, $6. What in the world? Egg? What are we doing here? Come on, family. We can do this. We just have to know we can. We just have to get some new ideas. You got to see it out of somebody's eyes with vision. You have to see it. And if you don't know it, ask questions. How else you going to learn if you don't ask questions? You're not going to get it. You will sit there wishing and hoping and praying, well, I got too much pride. I ain't asking her nothing. Why not? Why not? Anything it's going to take to get you to your next level. We got to let that pride go. It's time to learn. It's time to get built. It's time to get busy, and it's time to build. Who with me? Because I'm ready. I'm here. I started already. Let's go. Let's do it. That's why I created Ram in the Bush, so that I can get those people that were ready to build, that was ready to have their own. Timing is everything. Timing is everything. It could have been too soon, but time is everything. Go ahead, forecast.
No, yeah, no, I was just agreeing that timing is definitely everything, And but yeah, I definitely appreciate you for coming on here, and hopefully next week other people will be able to get more involved. We'll see what we talk about next week. I guess I hit you up and we'll talk about what we say next week.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you. And Realm in the Bush, it's your Cash App too, Realm in the Bush, right?
What is my cat? I don't know. I think it is. It might be CassidraCheek, my first and last name or something.
Okay,
I
yeah,
think it's on my
CassidraCheek.
page. Yeah, I think it's on my page.
Okay, yeah. So y'all go subscribe to Cassidra. Shouts out to Raw. Shouts out to Shanique. I appreciate you coming through, Shanique. Shouts out to Erica. Y'all definitely give a shout out to Erica. Shouts out to Oni. Shouts out to Matron. She had a great reading earlier, so y'all subscribe and listen to her. She gives good information. Shouts out to Bakari. Shouts out to Koku. Shouts out to everybody. I know I'm forgetting a lot of people, but shouts out to everybody. But yeah, I thank you again. I appreciate it, Cassidra. I'm gonna let
Thank you for the opportunity.
yeah, we're gonna be back next week. I'm gonna let this be the last words from Dick Gregory.
Yeah.
You change. We've been so busy dealing with the hurt and the pain and the misery and glamorizing a hand few that have made it, that we have never really looked at, like they say, your role model. If you haven't got a role model in your house, you should fall on your knees and pray to God, because something is wrong.
Yes.
And so I would say to young folks, it's not about alcohol, but it's hard for me to say that to you.
So yeah, if you ain't got a role model in your house, then something is wrong. Thank you, Raw. Appreciate it. Yeah. So thank all of y'all. I appreciate it. And as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're gonna keep falling for anything.